Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3, but our first installment of Fun Animals Beautiful Biomes. Welcome to the Tundra. The tundra is a biome that's located in the northernmost hemisphere and the southernmost hemisphere. These biomes are known as the coldest. They can get an average of 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really cold. That's why I'm wearing my beanie, my windbreaker. But see Miss Bluebird here? Since she is a rainforest animal, Blue would not be able to survive in the tundra. Now, sometimes the tundra can get to be about 30 degrees, negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and even negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Just to give you guys an idea, your refrigerator at home is about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very windy, brisk, and there's not too much rainfall in the tundra. The summer season gets about 50 to 60 days of kind of warm weather. It's light outside 24 hours a day. Imagine the sun is out all day for about 50 days. You never get a break. So it's really, really bright in the tundra because of the sun reflecting from the snow. So you always want to make sure if you're going to the tundra, you have eye protection. There are two different types of tundra, the Arctic and the Alpine. The Arctic is mostly on flat ground, and the Alpines, it's mostly in the mountains. And the word tundra actually came from Finland, and it's a Finnish word that means treeless plain. No trees in the tundra, it's way too cold, and the ground level isn't thick enough for them to make roots all the way down. Animals in the alpine include mountain goats, marmots, birds, and they eat low-lying plants, or cushion plants. Now these cushion plants that they're feeding on, they live in little rock crevices, and they live there because the wind is super harsh, way harsh in the tundra, especially up in the mountains. The higher you are, the worse the weather. So those cushion plants, they nestle themselves down into the rock crevices, which keeps them warm, insulates them, and also protects them from the wind. Animals in the Arctic include foxes, polar bears, Arctic hares, musk oxen, caribou, snow geese, and gray wolves. These animals have the adaptation to survive, and those adaptations include when to breed and how many young they're going to be raising at what time of year. Summer is the best time of year. It's when it's warm out. Now, animals also will hibernate or sleep so that they can minimize their energy loss throughout the winter. Some animals will migrate to stay away from the super cold and harsh weathers. Speaking of migrate, that includes birds. So I'm going to say, bye Blue, bye Blue, see you later. Animals in the tundra have those adaptations that we were talking about so that they can survive in this kind of weather. Check this out, we're gonna do an experiment. I have my snow gloves on, but if I took one glove off, which makes my hand smaller, imagine this is a very small paw, and this is a big paw. More surface area here, less surface area here. Check it out. Which one went in further? The one with the small paw or the one with the big paw? I think smaller paw. So animals in the tundra have big surface area, big paws, so they don't fall right through the snow. Other adaptations that animals have would be changing what they're hunting and when they're hunting. There's a food chain, and the predators, such as owls, foxes, wolves, polar bears, are at the top of the food chain. Then those predators hunt the herbivores. The herbivores are animals that eat plant material, such as the caribou, reindeer, lemmings, hares, and then you have the bugs. Mosquitoes, flies, moths, grasshoppers, and Arctic bumblebees all help those plants and flowers grow so that other animals can feed. Everything is connected. Very little vegetation or plants are found on the tundra. This is a frozen bog, and it covers about 1/10 of the Earth's land, but it contains 1/3 of the Earth's carbon that's found in the soil there. You have a couple different layers. The permafrost layer is very interesting because it's like a frozen, well, let me just show you. All right, so here I have something super delicious. Inside of this yummy treated wrapped goodness is an ice cream sandwich. This is what we're gonna use to show you guys how permafrost works. Check it out. Imagine Earth's surface, the active layer, where all the plants and animals live and grow, is on this very surface layer right here. This surface layer in real life is about 6 to 10 inches only. Very, very thin. Remember, no trees, no roots can grow down because the soil is so thin. Then you have the permafrost layer. Perma, permanent, frost, frosted, permanently frosted. This is an icy permanent layer that's quite deep. Under this permanently frozen area, you will have the talc, which is unfrozen ground that is sandwiched with the permafrost right here. When permafrost starts to melt just a little bit, the water level will raise into the active layer, create these bogs that are very, very cold. But it also gives animals a watering hole and breeding surface area for bugs and mosquitoes to have their babies and their larvae. Then the birds can come along and eat them too. Full circle. So whenever you guys are eating an ice cream sandwich, think about the tundra. Be like, I'm eating some permafrost. So good. I love your tundra. The tundra is a very important part of our living world, and there are threats to this very, very sensitive land. The threats include global warming. When the earth warms up, it changes the permafrost layers. Invasive and introduced species can also alter the natural food chain that has been established in this biome, and within the biome, the smaller habitats from the northern hemisphere all the way down to the southern hemisphere. More southern red foxes will travel north, and then that kind of throws off the food chain for the Arctic foxes who already live there. That creates competition for not only food, but also shelter. Air pollution and contaminants contaminate food sources, such as lichens. The ozone layers. If we deplete our ozone layers, more ultraviolet light can come through and damage the plants so that they can't go through natural photosynthesis. If plants can't grow, animals can't feed, and it could cause a collapse. Oil spills are extremely bad for the environment. Not only does it create chemical leaching into our environment through runoff and by literally getting stuck to the animals, it also creates long-term effects as well. Pipelines are not a good idea unless they are regulated, so we need to have more regulation on who and what is tromping through the tundra. If a vehicle were to drive through the tundra, those tracks are very slow to heal. The impressions that are made by humans encroaching on these environments are not good at all. There are solutions. The solutions and the ways that you can help, we can change to alternate energy sources. We don't have to rely on oil or coal. We can use our brains to come up with other ways to get from A to B and to also make a means. Local tourism is okay, but we want to limit that and respect the native people and the people who live there. If you guys are interested in helping polar bears and helping some of the animals that live in the tundra, whether it be in the Antarctic or the Alpine, polarbearsinternational.org. They're one of the lead supporters to help polar bears and animals in the tundra get the help that they need. The link is in the bio, so go to polarbearsinternational.org so that you guys can find out how you can help the tundra as well. Blue and I are back for this episode's Mythbuster. Have your parents ever told you, okay, if Jimmy's gonna go jump off a bridge, would you do that too? Well, there's a myth or an urban legend that lemmings, little tiny rodents, will all follow in the same line, and if they're all walking towards a cliff and one falls off, they're all gonna follow right behind them. They're all like, doo 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 doo, moving on, boo! Nope, they don't do that. Lemmings do not jump off a cliff all at the same time. In 1958, Disney had a movie called White Wilderness, and it was a documentary, and the filmmakers completely staged that scene of the movie. Sorry, Disney, but you're wrong.